boards and 5 assists in that game too. There's like 7 or 8 players in this contest I am fired up to watch go head-to-head.
We're ready for the opening tip. Chris Nix against Adong McCoy, and the tip goes out of bounds and will go to the Skyhawks of UT Martin.
Well, what's great about both these teams, I mean, they're averaging Tennessee State 77 points per game. UT Martin is up over almost 82 points per game. These are fast-paced squads. They want to get up and down. They want to push the basketball. Sometimes those games end up being really high-paced, high-scoring games. Other times, they end up stalling each other's offense out, and it's just a grind throughout.
Starters for UT Martin, Jalen Myers making his 4th straight start. Good pass underneath to Nix, who lays it off the glass, and then Chris Nix with the first basket.
You see right away, they're trying to go inside. A little pick and roll action, slip screen.
The Tigers on offense for the first time tonight. Junior Clay thought about the long 3. Instead, the 3 will be taken and bricked off the back rim by Marcus Fitzgerald. Quickly back the other way, go the Skyhawks. Both of these teams like to go fast. Parker Stewart unable to hit, but a nice offensive rebound for Nix, and back to Stewart. Stewart getting it into the post, and a nice layup by KJ Simon. And it's 4-0 UT Martin.
Already you're seeing UT Martin control the paint down inside, and that's huge. You want to get more points in the paint than your opponent, because then you're getting high quality, high percentage looks down inside.
Welcome to the Elam Center in Martin, Tennessee. A 4-0 start for the homestanding Skyhawks of UT Martin, with the 3s missed by Marcus Fitzgerald Jr. of Tennessee State. Skyhawks back the other way. Transition 3 try off the front rim for KJ Simon, but another offensive rebound for Chris Nix, already his 2nd offensive board. And 3 seconds is the call underneath on Nix and UT Martin.
Already we've seen so far, though, with this little lead for UT Martin, both baskets coming inside the paint. UT Martin on their home floor, trying to dominate the paint and get high percentage looks inside.
Robert Ford, Richie Schuler, glad you could join us for this key Ohio Valley Conference matchup. Both of these teams with a chance to get the number 2 seed in the OVC tournament, which starts next week in Evansville, Indiana. Foul called on Parker Stewart. As you take a look at the standings for the OVC, Morehead State clinching number 1 overall seed with their win yesterday over Eastern Illinois. And the number 1 and number 2 seeds get byes all the way to the semifinals of the OVC tournament. UT Martin can get that number 1 seed with a win and a couple of losses by SEMO and Tennessee Tech tonight. And meanwhile, with Tennessee State, they could finish as high as 2 or as low as 7, depending on how things go. That gives you an idea of how closely bunched things are right now in that part.
Things are so competitive, in the OVC. And I love the way the Ohio Valley Conference does it. They reward you. Like you said, top 2 get to go all the way to the semifinals without having played a game. If you're 3 and 4, you miss out in the first round and just have to start in the quarterfinals. In this game, I love both these teams' pace of play. Both these teams want this. Both of them have a shot at getting that 2 seed, and it means everything to both these squads tonight.
Zion Griffin, 1 of 2 from the line to get Tennessee State on the board tonight. Simon with the emphatic finish. KJ Simon with 4 points, 6'3" senior from Orlando.
Incredible. The preseason Ohio Valley Conference Player of the Year, showing who he is and what he's all about in all 3 buckets in the paint now for the Skyhawks.
Pass underneath, and the layup is missed by David Acosta, but he has a couple of free throws coming into the game. Coming to him here, Chris Nix called for that foul.
KJ Simon just using his ability, his quickness, that quick first step to get into the paint, to the basket, and finish strong. It's just a beautiful play by an efficient elite scorer.
Acosta, a 39% free throw shooter, a 6'11" junior from Santiago in the Dominican Republic, played a couple of years at Cloud County Community College in Kansas before finding his way to Nashville and Tennessee State. And both of the points tonight for Tennessee State coming from the line. Parker Stewart, second leading scorer in the conference, gets it down low to Myers. Myers unable to finish, but draws the contact.
Well, just unpack everything that just happened. It was 2 possessions in a row now that Tennessee State has come off after that free throw and set up in a zone press. How do you beat a zone press? You get the ball in that middle third. Some people call it the tunnel. The middle third of the court is exactly what they did. And while all that attention was on Parker Stewart, because he just dropped 32 points in his last game, and he's 17 a game on the season, he dropped it off to a teammate who was able to get to the foul line as a result. Fantastic job of breaking this pressure.
You see it there as Myers hits both free throws. And it's an 8-2 advantage for UT Martin. Tennessee State still looking for their first field goal. Junior Clay, leading scorer in the OVC, loses the ball but gets it back. He'll try a 3. Parker Stewart with the weak side rebounds for the Skyhawks. Skyhawks, you see them every time getting the ball back up court pretty quickly. Both of these teams play at a pretty fast tempo. The top 2 scoring offenses in the OVC. Stewart unable to hit from mid-range. Junior Clay back the other way for Tennessee State. Trying to draw contact underneath. Instead, the pass to Acosta, who lands at home.
It's a great dump-off pass. You see the pace here. Both these teams, 2 of the best at picking up pressure. You're talking 77 points a game for Tennessee State, 82 for UT Martin. And I've said it before, I'm going to say it again. When you have teams like this, sometimes the defense is so good because you're worried about stopping transition that it ends up being a game where teams struggle to score.
And among the top teams in the country in fast break points, Jalen Myers with 5 points, getting his 4th straight start after beginning the year coming off the bench. Clay, looked like some miscommunication there between he and Acosta. UT Martin trying to take advantage, and a blocking foul is the call on Tennessee State. As KJ Simon was barreling to the lane.
You're right. It's going to be about pace of play, and UT Martin is having no problem getting up and down the floor. They are controlling the tempo. Tennessee State's got to come out of this timeout and do a better job with their transition defense. Inside the paint, and it just doesn't seem so far that Tennessee State has matched up once that ball crosses half court well enough.
KJ Simon at the line after Marcus Fitzgerald Jr. fouled him on a shot attempt before the break. Simon, one of 3 players on the Skyhawks team that averages at least 14 a game. Simon averages 15.1, which is 5th best in the league. And he has 5 so far in this one. UT Martin has opened up an 8-point advantage, trying to get something going offensively. Tennessee State has only hit 1 field goal to this point. Working his way inside now, Zion Griffin. Going to the basket, drawing some contact, but not hitting the shot, Christian Brown. UT Martin with the basketball, quickly back the other way.
I mean, you're right. Quickly is the right word. They got up the floor really fast and right into their offense.
Next, working against Acosta, gets his own rebound, has it knocked out of his hands. Good strip by Griffin. And UT Martin, or rather Tennessee State, looking to take advantage here. Clay fakes the 3. Now the 3 will be tried by Griffin, but unable to hit it off the back ring. Great offensive rebound by Acosta, but unable to convert that into points, and then Acosta gets called for the foul. That's already 2 on the 6'11 junior.
Well, Acosta gets in the game, and what he does, he provides rebounding, and he's so efficient around the rim. Coming into this game, he was 77% from the field. That's unheard of, and misses that, and that's a frustration foul, I think, after he missed that layup in the putback.
First time we've seen UT Martin walk it up so far in this one. Just under 15 minutes remaining in the first half. Parker Stewart, he gets his pocket pick, and then a jump ball is called. Tie-up forced by Christian Brown. Parker Stewart a little careless there, leading to the turnover because the possession arrow belongs to Tennessee State.
I think so far, even in the half court, UT Martin has done a good job of forcing some shots that weren't great looks by Tennessee State. Not bad looks, but sometimes you can get a much better look than some of the shots that they've gotten, especially from the outside.
Great pass down low, and a great finish by Adon McCoy. Second field goal of the night for Tennessee State.
I think you heard us talking because that was a great look to the basket.
McCoy, the 6'9" grad student from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. And it's a 6-point game in favor of the Skyhawks who have the basketball. Down low, nice pass underneath, but the finish not converted by Myers. Tennessee State back the other way. Long three is an air ball by Christian Brown, and it's out of bounds to the Skyhawks. Exactly what you were talking about, Rich.
And he's a terrific shooter. So you give him a little bit of a leash to shoot some shots that might be a little bit uncharacteristic, but got to get some better looks than that. This is a great look though to inside. What a pass to McCoy from Clay, the great finish. I think they can get some more of those moving off the ball. You move off the ball, you cut away from the basketball. I've seen UT Martin do it several times and got some really good looks around the basket as a result.
That's the thing about Junior Clay. You talk about that great pass. He's the leading scorer in the conference, but he's also the leading assist man in the league, averaging more than 5 a game. Going inside now, Sears lays it in with the right hand. Impressive sophomore out of Daytona Beach, Florida, with his first bucket.
I think he just makes it look so easy. I don't feel like the defense was there enough to stop him after he beat his first defender. Quick to shoot threes.
Justin Williams missing the mark. Skyhawks back the other way. 3 right wing off the front rim for Desmond Williams. And now Tennessee State looking to run. And a tie-up is called. As Christian Brown was trying to go to the basket, a tie-up called underneath.
It's really good defense by the defender there in transition.
Does it almost look like Tennessee State on offense going a little too quick? You talk about some of the shot selection.
Correct. I think Ryan Ritter's squad here is doing a great job of forcing them to take uncomfortable shots in the half court. And they're doing such a good job of dictating the tempo to favor them more so on the offensive end.
Parker Stewart getting bumped by Christian Brown. See Martin will have it underneath. Penny Collins, the head coach for Tennessee State, now in his 4th season as the head coach. Previously an assistant for Tennessee State, was a really good player at Belmont, a point guard under Rick Byrd, longtime head coach at Belmont that Collins played under.
You know, the thing about Penny's squad is back in 2019-20, right before COVID hit, they had won 18 games. They were 18-15. COVID hit. Really kind of messed up the rhythm that the program had. They've struggled a little bit. Now they're back. 17-12 now. Chance to finish second in the OVC.
Parker Stewart with the air ball. 3-pointer right wing, and that is drilled from the right wing for Tennessee State. Boy, did they need that. Knocked in by Zul Queth, the 6'7" grad student from Tennessee. A 5-point game in favor of the Skyhawks. A turnover now. Clay with a full head of steam. Queth on him. The foul, that was actually McCoy on him. Foul called.
Junior Clay not only is a great scorer and assist getter, he gets about 1.5 steals a game too. It can take it the other way as a result. So great job by Tennessee State. I felt like this shot here would look really comfortable. It was wide open. Hands and feet were set and ready to go, and they knocked it down.
Desmond Williams on the foul for the Skyhawks. See if Tennessee State can get going here on offense. Tough shot, but made by Marcus Fitzgerald Jr. Nicely done. And a 3-point advantage.
Fitzgerald's never been afraid to attack. He gets in the paint, he drove middle, made it tough on the defense, and did a great job of finishing with his left hand.
Averages 13.5 points per game for the Tigers. Looking to get it inside here. Sears working his way around the screen. Great feed underneath, but the layup is missed by David Kamwanga. And here comes Tennessee State.
Beautiful pass by Sears. Man, that's good.
3-pointer right wing is missed by Tennessee State, by Queth. Here come the Skyhawks. 3-pointer is bricked off the back rim, this time by Desmond Williams. And Tennessee State will walk it up. 1-possession game. UT Martin has led by as many as 8 here in the first half. And the ball in the post now. McCoy got fouled as he had that knocked out of his hands. Foul called on Jordan Sears. 3-point lead for UT. Really good job in the second season at UT Martin as a head coach. Nice job at Bethune-Cookman, which was then of the MEAC. 3 years there. Really turned that program around after 4 years at the community college level in Florida. As the three-pointers knocked in by Marcus Fitzgerald Jr., and all of a sudden we're tied. Sluggish start for Tennessee State. They've looked a lot better on offense their last few possessions.
They look great. They've calmed down. They've settled in. They look like they're not forcing stuff. And I tell you, UT Martin's had a lot of those kind of plays. A lot of great passes off the ball. One thing that makes UT Martin dangerous is they do a great job of cutting off the ball, losing their defender, and the guy with the ball on their team delivers the rock in the right place around the basket. UT Martin hasn't made a bunch of those today. They've missed some of those bunnies, but now they've gotten to the free throw line.
Don McCoy called for that foul against KK Curry, a 69% free throw shooter at the line, looking for his first point tonight. Curry has been coming off the bench. This is his fourth straight game off the bench after beginning the year in the starting lineup. Jalen Myers replacing him in the starting five. Curry unable to convert on either free throw. He remained knotted at 14 with just over 11 minutes remaining in the first half. Fitzgerald taking his time bringing it up. Boy, now we'll get it off to Clay. Clay around the screen with the three, unable to hit. Still looking for his first points tonight, but a nice offensive rebound and slam by McCoy.
That's beautiful. See, Tennessee State's coming along now. Getting in rhythm, looking good.
First lead for the Tigers. Great pass underneath to Curry. He gets blocked, but also gets fouled. It's either on McCoy or Queth. And it's going to be on Queth.
Great job by Tennessee State. Getting offensive rebounds, getting the putbacks. McCoy's got springy athleticism with great length.
So Curry back to the line and able to convert on the first one. We have 6 college basketball games Saturday on ESPN and the app that start at noon Eastern. Where we're highlighting these 3 games that cap the day. Number 6, Virginia Tech in North Carolina begin at 6 Eastern, followed by Duke hosting Virginia Tech at Cameron Indoor. And finally, number 15, St. Mary's takes on number 12, Gonzaga for the WCC regular season title. Should be another great day of hoops on ESPN family of networks.
St. Mary's, Gonzaga, that's going to be awesome. That first game was won by St. Mary's. You know, Gonzaga wants a little revenge there, you know?
Oh, absolutely. Getting inside now is Clay, and he's called for the travel. A rough start for junior Clay, the leading scorer in the OVC, coming off a 40-point game his last time out.
So you tell me, Robert, we talked about this early. Does this look like a game where 2 teams that average about 78 points a game?
You know, you bring up a good point.
I mean, 78, 79, maybe 80 between these 2 teams when you combine? Yeah, no, I mean, everybody's so good at transition defense and all that because you're so worried about the other team. Both these teams doing a fair job.
Great strip by Clay of Simon to get the ball back for the Tigers. Tennessee State looking to reclaim the lead here. Fitzgerald and Clay play catch. Cedric Boyd, dangerous 3-point shooter. Griffin gets stripped. Good pass underneath to McCoy. He's patient and lays it in. That was an excellent job by McCoy. He waited until the defenders got by him and hit the layup.
McCoy doing a great job of playing some cleanup duty down inside. 6'9" with length. He played with his back to the basket. It's physical down inside. It's really good.
Fadeaway shot in the lane. Missed by Simon.
It was just 14-6 not too long ago in favor of UT Martin.
Nice shot off the glass by junior Clay for his first basket. 6-foot grad student from Chattanooga.
Early on, Tennessee State really struggling from behind the arc, and now they've found their stride, getting baskets around the rim inside the paint.
Tennessee, UT Martin led by as many as 8. And now it's a 4-point lead for Tennessee State. Long 3, rims out by Williams. And another opportunity here for Tennessee State to add to their lead. Boyd trying to get it inside to McCoy, but Nix running the post knocks it out of bounds. It will stay with the Tigers.
So you're seeing UT Martin on the offensive end. They're like a 4-around-1. They spread it. They're looking to drive. They've got an open floor down inside the lane. Usually Tennessee State, they do a lot of 5-out spread where they spread it out, all 5 players. I'm seeing a lot of possessions where you're seeing players inside the paint. A little bit of a different look than they're usually employing in these games.
Boyd, he's dangerous, and he knocks in his first three of the game. Dedrick Boyd, 40% from beyond the arc with his first basket.
You and I saw him a week ago right now where he hit 8 threes in a row at Morehead State.
Chris Nix with the answer on the other end. His second basket. And a 5-point lead for Tennessee State. Clay kicks it out. Open three, and that's buried for Marcus Fitzgerald.
Percentage looks, but they figured it out. They're clicking now. They've made at least 6 of their last 7 shots, and they forced UT Martin into 5 turnovers. That's led to a lot of points on the other end as well.
Sears back into the game, throws it away to Boyd. Boyd, he'll try a transition three, but unable to hit, and Stewart with the rebound.
Yeah, what they call a hot stove, that shot. Didn't hold his follow through, just pulled his follow through back real quick. Those don't often go in.
Simon passing across the lane, and Nix unable to finish. Rebounds pulled down by Griffin of the Tigers.
That's the thing, too, is that UT Martin is getting great looks around the basket. Fantastic shot attempts in the paint, and they're missing a lot of these bunnies. Now, credit Tennessee State for defending those shots. They're a pretty good shot blocking team.
Great pass underneath and a great finish underneath.
Oh, they look good. UT Martin looks all out of sorts on the defensive end. They can't find an answer. And look at this.
That was Zion Griffin with his first field goal. Steal here by Clay, and the finish.
How about this? It's a 24-4 run.
Tennessee State all of a sudden up by 12, their largest lead of the game. UT Martin early led by 8. Stewart hits the shot and draws the foul. So Parker Stewart, that's the answer right now for UT Martin as they try to work their way back.
Stewart needed that. UT Martin needed that. Stewart is a 17-point-per-game guy. He is their leading scorer. He was 0 for 3 before this shot. And this is why the shot fake is one of the best moves in basketball. Look what it did. You're playing against a team that likes to block shots. They got pretty good numbers in that category. They're going to look to block that shot on a pump fake.
Stewart, a 77% free throw shooter, knocks it in to complete the three-point play, and it's a 9-point advantage for Tennessee State. Just over 6.5 remaining here in the first half at the Elin Center in Martin, Tennessee. Already a very eventful basketball game. Nice offensive rebound by McCoy, who's been doing a great job on the glass. It came after the Fitzgerald miss. McCoy trying to finish. Looked like Nix got his hands on it. And then an errant shot on the other end by UT Martin. Junior Clay will walk it up. It seems like, too, Richie, things have been better for Tennessee State since they've started to slow things down. We mentioned earlier, it seemed like they were playing a little fast with the way this game started. Clay with the speed there, and Junior Clay now with 6.
I mean, I could have said this many times in the last several possessions for Tennessee State, but where's the help side defense by UT Martin? It's so hard to keep a player in front. It's hard. Okay, that's why you got to have that weak side defender. You have to have that insurance policy to step up and try to take the charge, or at least deter them from getting to the basket. It was like all she wrote wide open for Junior Clay.
Stewart with some free throws here. The 1-and-1 opportunities. That was the 8th team foul on Tennessee State.
Junior Clay, top 10 in the Ohio Valley Conference in steals. He's going to be the first ever player to be a 5-time All-OVC player.
Stewart unable to convert on the front end. Junior Clay walking it up for Tennessee State. What a turnaround for the Tigers. Open three right wing, and that's knocked in. Zion Griffin with the triple. He now has 6.
They started out 1 of 8 from 3, Tennessee State. Isn't it amazing how much a difference a three-pointer makes? I can't believe the score.
And another turnover. Play back the other way, and a foul is called behind the play. And it's going to be a flagrant foul called on Sears. Or an intentional foul, I should say. Sears behind the play, getting tangled up. Take a look at the left side of your screen here.
There's Sears going up. Feels like he got fouled on the shot, and a little shove to the back, it looked like, with his left forearm. And so that's when you can't just be the old phrase, you can't make one mistake turn into 2. But you missed a layup. It felt like you got fouled. You have to control those emotions. Don't try to retaliate, because usually the player who retaliates in the game of basketball is the person that gets nailed.
That was Fitzgerald who was pushed in the back. He's looking to convert both of these free throws. That was a good job by the official on that side. A lot of times officials will miss that sort of action behind the play. That was James Hicks who had the call. James Hicks, John St. Clair, and Davis Maxwell, the three officials working tonight. And not only did they get the free throw attempts, but Tennessee State will have the ball as well.
Wasn't it 14-6 in favor of UT Martin?
It sure was.
If my math is correct, that is a 30-7 run now by TSU. That is fantastic.
Reggie Schuler breaking out the abacus early in this basketball game. McCoy underneath, and he's called for steps. It's almost like he got a little too excited there with a great opportunity to score.
It's kind of surprising. He's a player. He's really springy, but he has excellent footwork inside the paint. And I think he feels good. This is a player in McCoy who's 9-5 a game. He was 13-8 last time he played UT Martin. Coach Collins telling us he's like a grown man. He cooks his own food in his apartment. How many college kids cook their own food?
How many grown people cook their own food?
I'm still eating peanut butter and jelly.
Parker Stewart driving to the basket and unable to finish. Didn't get the roll. Acosta with the rebound for the Tigers. Amazing the turnaround the last few minutes between these two squads. Clay taking it outside, open three, and that's knocked in. All of a sudden, Tennessee State can't miss from three. Zion Griffin with his second triple of the night.
Putting on a shooting clinic. The Skyhawks so worried about the drive, they're giving up contested threes. Nice drive here.
Kobe Jeffries, the redshirt sophomore out of Memphis, off the bench with his first bucket. And a 16-point bulge in favor of Tennessee State.
You're right. They slowed it down, and all of a sudden, they're back to scoring at a high clip. Oh, there you go.
And a turnover here. Jeffries making some plays happen the last minute. And Kobe Jeffries, that's exactly what you want when you bring in a player off the bench, try to get a spark, especially when you're trailing like UT Martin is.
He's a guy that can really get to the basket and gets everybody involved. He's so poised as a player. He's just a sophomore.
Almost another turnover as Fitzgerald had trouble handling the pass. 10 on the shot clock. Fitzgerald, he'll try from deep. A rare miss of late. An opportunity for Simon, and that gets knocked out of his hands. Nice play by Fitzgerald to avoid the fast break bucket. And then Parker Stewart transferred to Indiana for a year and now back at UT Martin. And before every game, this is Parker Stewart's ritual. He gives a hug to his dad right after the starting lineups are introduced and before he comes out onto the floor for the start of the game. So you can only imagine what's going through Parker Stewart's mind as that one winds up going off his leg and out of bounds. Another turnover for Tennessee State. Anthony Stewart, former head coach here, passed away November 15th, 2020. Died suddenly, just 50 years old. It was absolutely tragic. You talk to anyone who got a chance to know Anthony Stewart, and I got a chance to talk with him doing the UT Martin game a few years ago. Just a wonderful individual. There he is with his son Parker.
In the coaching community, there was not a single person who didn't have positive things to say about Anthony Stewart after he passed away, and you can only imagine the emotions that Parker's having right now. It's senior night. He walked out with his mother on the floor, who actually still works here on the college campus, and hearts are heavy right now for Parker Stewart and family.
And Parker Stewart just hitting the bucket to give him 5 for the game. Three-pointer from the left corner is missed by Griffin. UT Martin. Parker Stewart bringing it up. Stewart to the basket and able to lay it in. Parker Stewart starting to find it here.
He sure is.
And it's a 10-point game.
I think since he's come back from break, I believe he's gotten a steal and 2 buckets.
An incredible sense of timing. We talk about his late dad. Parker Stewart able to come up with a couple of key baskets for UT Martin. Almost another turnover there for Tennessee State, 8 to shoot. A nice rejection by Simon, but getting it back is Fitzgerald, and this time draws the foul. Good job by Fitzgerald to stay with it there. Parker Stewart before the game, senior night festivities, walking out with his mom, as Richie mentioned, who works here on campus still at UT Martin. And you have to imagine he's thinking about the other person he wishes was on his left side, of course, his dad.
You know, when he decided to transfer from Pitt and come to UT Martin to play for his father, I'm sure he always imagined he was going to graduate as a Skyhawk, and senior night was going to be one of those special moments, seeing all the seniors before you with their parents and your dad being the head coach, something so unique. And it was going to be a moment. And again, hearts are heavy, and it just makes me sad to think about the emotions he's dealt with since the passing of his father, even into tonight.
Simon gets it underneath and lays it in. KJ Simon now with 7.
This looks like a different team coming out of the break in UT Martin from how they've been playing.
Tennessee State with the ball, leading by 10. They've led by as many as 18 here in the first half. Clay working against Stewart. Stewart staying with him for the time being, so Clay will get rid of the basketball. Fitzgerald driving baseline, and he stepped on the baseline. The turnovers on the last couple of possessions here, 2 of the last 3 possessions for Tennessee State.
A little bit of words going between Junior Clay and Kobe Jeffries. See, Kobe Jeffries is going to get the ball on the inbound here. We're seeing a little bit of run by UT Martin. They struggled most of the first half except for the opening minutes. It's been all Tennessee State, but it looks like it's starting to level off here. But a big deficit for UT Martin to try to overcome.
Just over a minute remaining here in the first half.
Nice pass.
Great pass from Simon, and an offensive foul is the call. Or was it? Was it a block? It was a blocking call, beg your pardon. So a blocking foul called on Tennessee State. And 2 free throws here for Kobe Jeffries. Transfer from UAB in his second year with the Skyhawks. The officials wipe up some perspiration underneath the basket before these free throws.
Officials doing everything tonight,
huh? And this is a 1-and-1, I should say, not 2 shots for Jeffries. So 1-and-1 here for Jeffries as Tennessee State has fouled their way into the bonus for UT Martin. Jeffries averaging 4 points off the bench. Already has 4 points in this game for Ryan Ritter's squad. Now the officials, one of the officials is over at the monitor checking on something. I wonder if they want to make sure they have the foul correct. Here's our NBA Friday doubleheader coming off the All-Star break. The Bucks host Jimmy Butler in the Heat at 7:30 Eastern. Then the New Look Suns host Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and the Thunder. Coverage tips off with NBA Countdown at 7 Eastern on ESPN and the app.
Jimmy Buckets, huh?
Jimmy Buckets. Jimmy Butler, what a tremendous player he's turned into. With the Bulls, Timberwolves, now with the Heat. Under a minute remaining in the first half. 10-point lead for Tennessee State with the ball. Clay driving to the basket into some tall trees. Open 3 for Griffin, and it's short. Parker Stewart gets the rebound for the Skyhawks. Trying to get it into single digits here. Stewart off the glass and in. Parker Stewart now with 9. And it seems like they've all come within the last couple of minutes. Games with implications for the NCAA tournament for those schools. When you think about seeding and the like, of course, the Ohio Valley Conference traditionally only get 1 bid, and that's the automatic qualifier, which will be determined in the Ohio Valley Conference tournament, which starts next week in Evansville, Indiana at the Ford Center. It's over 4 days. Both of these teams with a shot at the 2 seed, which would give them a bye to the semifinal round. Tennessee State will run some clock here. 2-second differential between game and shot clock as the first half is drawing to a close. Clay coming around the screen. He'll try the three. Unable to hit. And UT Martin was able to get it to within single digits before the intermission. It'll be interesting. It always is these first few minutes of the second half to see who tries and sets the tone. Clay trying to set it with a deep three, but a little short on that. And a rebound pulled down by Simon.
He's on target. He's 26 feet out. A little bit short. Remember how the team started early in the first half. It was all UT Martin. They were controlling the fast break. The transition deep from Tennessee State wasn't great. All that got tightened up, and then Tennessee State started making shots.
Cedric Boyd a little too close to comfort on Parker Stewart. Just whistled for his second foul. Boyd.
You take whatever you did in the first half. You toss it in the trash can. Because after a 15-minute break, all momentum's gone. You have to start over all over again and try to establish a new rhythm and disrupt theirs all at the same time.
Stewart hounded by Boyd once again. Stewart, tough shot, and a chance for a three-point play. Nicely done by Parker Stewart. He now has 11.
Came alive in the end of the first half in first possession of the second. What does he do? He breaks his defender down one-on-one. That's just talent right there. One-on-one ability and score to the basket with the N1.
I think what's also key there too, Richie, he draws 2 fouls early in the second half on Cedric Boyd, who now has 3. And Boyd, one of the better three-point shooters for Tennessee State.
He's a phenomenal shooter. He's a guy that can get super hot. Like we said earlier, we saw him drill 8 threes in a row at Morehead State a week ago.
Boyd in the game still for now with the 3 fouls. Minute gone by in the second half. Trying to get to the basket now. And on the kick out to Griffin. Clay driving inside. Looked like that shot was altered by Nix. And here comes UT Martin. Stewart trying to pass it across the lane to Nix, who couldn't handle it. Another turnover. That's the 10th for the Skyhawks. They average 12 turnovers a game. UT Martin, the fewest in the conference. And the foul whistled on Sears.
It's going to be on Jordan Sears. Yeah, I thought he did a really good job at jumping in front, but a little too close. You know, you're allowed to have that vertical cylinder space. You can't get too close to your defender in instances like that.
Jordan Sears now with 3 fouls. He has just 2 points, averages more than 14 a game. Driving to the basket, unable to finish, is Fitzgerald. And here comes Parker Stewart of the Skyhawks. Open 3 left wing. Sears trying to get it going, and he does. Jordan Sears with his first 3. He's 32% from deep on the year.
They really missed him. He dropped 21 against Tennessee State in Nashville. And like you said, he struggled. We talked about that at halftime.
And another 3 for Tennessee State. Griffin, his 3rd triple. He has a dozen.
Griffin is so good at just being set, ready to go. Tennessee State has the players that beat the defenders and kick out to open 3s to him.
Nix might have traveled, gotten away with it. Going to the basket and laying it in with the left hand. Jalen Myers.
Myers, a player that does a great job of stretching the floor with his three-point ability. He can score around the rim.
Clay trying to get to the basket, loses it, but gets it back. And an open 3 try, and that's buried. Marcus Fitzgerald Jr. with 14. And it's been a shootout here for the last minute or so of this second half. Pass to Myers. He tries it with the left hand, unable to finish. Nix draws the contact. He'll head to the line for a couple. I believe they get Griffin for that one, and they do.
Why do I have the feeling this is going to be one of those nip and tuck battles throughout the course of the game? This is going to be a barn burner, I think. Great save. Good ball movement. See, that's really good. When you can pass the ball from the opposite corner to the other wing for an open 3-point shot, that 3 oftentimes is wide open.
Nix unable to hit on the first free throw. A 55% free throw shooter on the year. David Acosta back in for Tennessee State. He gave them some really key minutes off the bench in the first half. Provided some rebounding and defense inside. 7-point advantage for Tennessee State, and will stay at 7 as Nix unable to hit either free throw. Marcus Fitzgerald walking it up for Tennessee State. Griffin trying to shake his man. Kicks it back out to Christian Brown. Brown just back into the game. Got caught in the air, but gives it off to Griffin in the corner. Unable to hit. Stewart with the board. UT Martin looking to run. Great pass underneath by Stewart, and a great finish with the left hand by Myers. Jalen Myers with 9.
We keep talking about the great playmaking by Junior Clay of Tennessee State. How about Parker Stewart with that dime?
Stewart averages 2 assists per game. You look at this UT Martin team, and they lead the conference in assists per game. But you don't have one guy averaging 6, 5 assists. It's a bunch of guys shipping in with 2 assists per game, 3 assists per game. Fitzgerald unable to connect on the 3. And the ball goes out of bounds as the season started. So here was Pat Summitt, just out of school herself, became the head coach of Tennessee. And 38 great years there. And tragically passing away a few years ago, 2016, at the battle with Alzheimer's. Back to action here is Tennessee State looking to add to their lead. Fitzgerald unable to finish on the layup attempt, and a nice rebound by Kobe Jeffries coming off the bench. Back the other way, trapped underneath Nix. Out of bounds off of Tennessee State. You know, one of the impressive things, and there are many, about Pat Summitt to me, Richie. So she starts coaching at University of Tennessee in 1974.
Yeah.
And she was on the 1976 Olympic team. That was the first year that women's basketball was a sport in the Olympics in Montreal in 76. As Chris Nix now with 6 points.
She was a coach, but then she was still playing in the Olympics.
Yeah, she played in the Olympics in 76. Team USA won the silver. That first women's basketball competition in the Olympics is Zion Griffin with another triple.
My goodness, Zion Griffin, 4 of 8 from behind the arc. He has double the amount of threes that UT Martin has as a team. Skyhawks 2 of 9 from the field. They've scored nearly 65% of their points in the paint. Now 28 down inside for UT Martin. Make it, oh, that was going to be 30.
Simon almost got that runner to go. Acosta with the rebound for the Tigers. It seems like whenever UT Martin is able to get something going, Tennessee State has been able to answer here in the second half. Led by 8 at the intermission. Right now the Bulls is 6. Clay draws the foul, racing to the basket. He'll get Chris Nix for his second.
Tennessee State's been a good three-point shooting team all year. 36%. That's really good as a collective team. Better than UT Martin, but you look at the box scores, season box scores, and if you look at the statistical categories from the team that you're looking at to their opponents, it's pretty similar. The edge that UT Martin has, a little bit better than Tennessee State as far as against their opponents overall in the season, is their rebounding is better than Tennessee State's collectively, and their free throw percentage. Well, rebounding for UT Martin is slightly better tonight. However, the free throw percentage by Tennessee State is way better, and they're converting on threes better than UT Martin. They're knocking down the freebies when they get them around the basket. They get those extra free throws. I mean, it's awesome to see how well they're playing right now.
7-point lead for Tennessee State. After Junior Clay converted on 1 of 2. And Parker Stewart's a little shaken up. And is there blood coming from his nose? Like he had his hand around his nose.
He's checking his hand. Athletic trainer's coming to look too to see if that's what it is.
And Stewart is saying he's okay. Athletic trainer coming off the court, so
he keeps looking down at his hand, but doesn't seem to be any kind of alarm about any kind of blood.
The trainer's coming out to look at him once again. And now the officials over at the scorer's table, they are going to see if there was any contact worth calling there that led to Parker Stewart being a little shaken up. Look at the left side of your screen.
Just trying to break off the screen. He was setting up his defender for the screen. His teammate Jeffries was coming to set the down screen. And something, it looked like there might have been a little bit of contact as he was trying to come off the screen.
I believe that was Fitzgerald on Stewart there. The officials are going to look to see if was anything flagrant there. I don't know that there was.
It didn't look like it. I mean, look, you're supposed to set up your defender. You're supposed to walk him in and then pop out coming off the screen and probably with some incidental contact here. Let's take a peek. Here's a closer look. The defender, whoever his defender was, you think that's Fitzgerald maybe? Just looks like he got a piece of his left hand. Yeah, Fitzgerald on him. But I don't think there's anything flagrant.
No. And the officials are going to determine the same thing. So it's going to stay UT Martin ball here. 7-point lead for Tennessee State. 14:44 remaining in this contest. See what UT Martin tries to do here with Simon triggering it in. Stewart getting it in his hands, and Stewart is fouled as he was trying to go to the basket. Simon, or beg your pardon, that's Christian Brown called for the foul. That's the third on him.
The one thing that we get to see sitting, basically front row, that viewers don't get to see is you get to hear the coaches tell the players on their team on defense what's coming. Well, they were telling Tennessee State coach was saying there's a ball screen coming. Parker Stewart looked over at the coach and said, "No, he decided to take it for himself." Didn't allow the ball screen to happen.
Parker Stewart unable to hit on the three, but the ball ping-pongs back out to UT Martin. Simon working his way inside, draws the foul. So UT Martin trying to get the ball in the lane. They're drawing fouls. They've done a good job of that so far today against Tennessee State. Got in the bonus in the first half. Ryan Griffin called for his second.
Tennessee State coaching staff not happy that UT Martin's getting these offensive rebounds. So Costa coming out of the game. And they're going to put in Dong McCoy, who has great length around the basket on both ends of the floor. McCoy, 3 rebounds in this game, so hoping to boost that area a little bit. So not so many offensive boards for the Skyhawks here.
Simon with all 9 of his points in the second half. 5-point lead for Tennessee State with the ball. Clay coming around the screen will try a 3. And unable to hit, but that rebound off the hands of Curry. So Tennessee State will keep the basketball with 20 to shoot.
When Tennessee State's shooting like this, it can be such a challenge to guard. They spread you out. Great look. Oh, man, that's a good pass by Fitzgerald to McCoy. Got the foul, but when they're shooting like this, to play a team as athletic and springy and ability to take guys off the bounce with that first quick step, that Tennessee State has ability like that all around the perimeter. When they're shooting the ball like that, now how do you guard them? Do you guard them as a shooter? Do you guard them as a driver? Because if they drive by, a lot of times you got to close in, they kick out to an open shooter. And it's so hard to guard. That's where UT Martin's struggling right now defensively, because Tennessee State's knocking down 3-point shots. Now, if you play a little closer and you don't help as much on those drives, you're going to get drives to the basket, Tennessee State.
Back to a 7-point advantage for the Tigers. That foul, by the way, was on Chris Nix of the Skyhawks. Now has 3. Simon around the Knicks screen. Simon trying to work his way inside. He's been effective doing that here. It's called for the travel.
Great job on the defensive end.
I love student managers are some of the hardest workers in all of athletics, because they have to do all the grunt work, all the dirty work. He wants to be a coach. He's in the AAU circuit. I love guys like that. He offered. We weren't getting our stats, so go ahead, you know what? I'll help you out. And here he is.
Doing a little of everything. Pass inside, intercepted by UT Martin. Skyhawks quickly back the other way. Jeffries loses the ball. Let's see if they're going to call that on the shot attempt. And it looks like it's going to be 2 free throws coming up here for Jeffries, who's provided a nice spark, Richie, for UT Martin off the bench when he's been in there.
He's done a great job. I'm looking at the stats here. Tennessee State's only had 7 turnovers. 13 assists to 7 turnovers. You look over at UT Martin. They've got 11 turnovers, but only 8 assists. Why is that? Well, a lot of it's because they're struggling to shoot the ball. UT Martin is 2 of 10 from behind the arc. So they're getting a lot of open looks. And we talked earlier, remember they were missing a lot of chippies around the basket with contact. And they're just not converting on the shots that the Tigers are.
Jeffries now with 6 off the bench after hitting those 2 free throws. Tennessee State, Boy getting the ball to Clay. Open three for Fitzgerald, unable to hit. Tennessee State, after being on fire from three, they pull down McCoy trying to slam it. He can't, but he is going to the line.
It's one you want back if you're McCoy. A little bit of bravado if you can hammer the ball and get fouled.
McCoy goes to the line for a couple of 53% free throw shooter. He's 2 for 2 so far tonight. Native of Edmonton, Alberta. Played at Northern Illinois before finding his way here to Tennessee State. And looking for his 16th double-figure game of the season, which he can get if he knocks in this second free throw.
He's going to go into his zone press usually. We're going to just go back on this one. 18-point lead for Tennessee State early on, and slowly, though, we're seeing UT Martin just chip away at it. You know, they're struggling to score. They're struggling to take care of the ball. They're finding ways to slowly chip away at this deficit.
Nix getting it inside, and yeah, he got held down there by McCoy. It looked like McCoy got quite a bit of jersey.
Yeah, so Coach Penny Collins has a point where, in his mind, he feels like it could have been an offensive foul. Because, as you saw, Chris Nix got that ball, took a power dribble, used his right shoulder to get some position, but not enough for the official to call.
So Nix at the line. 7th leading rebounder in the conference. And playing right now with 3 fouls. He stayed on the floor.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about right here. Positioning, uses this to get a little bit of space inside there. And not enough contact, but I can see why Coach Collins, from the outside, at a different angle, might have thought so.
Yeah, with that right arm of Nix.
Now,
Tennessee State with the ball, leading by a half dozen. They have led for most of this game after getting off to a slow start. UT Martin led by 8 points early. They were up 14-6 in the opening minutes. But since then, it's been Tennessee State, although UT Martin has not allowed too much separation to happen in the second half. Three-pointer try does not go for Brown. And Simon quickly back the other way, looking to penetrate once again. Trying to fire a pass to Nix. Almost another turnover, but Jeffrey is able to get the loose ball. And Simon from mid-range, able to knock it in. Simon now with 11. He and Parker Stewart are tied for game-high scoring honors for UT Martin.
have you felt at all that either team really was dominant in the fast break?
Not at all, and that's something both of these teams are good at. Three-pointers missed by Queff, but a nice finish, and the foul drawn by Christian Brown.
Right place, right time. That's his first field goal make of the game. A player that averages nearly 13 points per contest. And look, he's right there. He does a great job catch, knocking it in. When the ball doesn't hit the rim, it really messes you up when you're trying to rebound the ball. You expect it to bounce off the rim, and it just comes directly to you off the backboard.
Simon able to convert on the three-point play. And Junior Clay will take a seat here for Tennessee State. 7-point advantage for the Tigers on defense here. Lobbed out to Simon, who finishes. Nix with the feed.
About the 6'9" big man not receiving the alley-oop, passing for the alley-oop.
So Simon now, he's continued to rack him up in the second half. 14 points here in the second half. That pass is knocked out of bounds.
The touch from the big man, Chris Nix, who's top 10 in the Ohio Valley Conference in rebounding. He's one of those tough, gritty guys putting a beautiful touch on the pass. I don't see a lot of big guys that have that kind of touch to make that kind of pass.
And, you know, we were talking earlier about how UT Martin kind of spreads out the assists. Nix, he averages just under 2 assists per game, so he's clearly capable of delivering some dimes. But I mean, that was really impressive.
Yeah, definitely.
Whistle underneath. McCoy getting held. That's on David Kamwanga. First called on him. It will be Tennessee State ball here with 20 seconds on the shot clock. one more foul on UT Martin, and Tennessee State will be shooting the bonus. Lob inside to McCoy. McCoy loses the basketball, and Kamwaga and McCoy get tied up. I believe we're going to have a jump ball, and indeed we will. The arrow will give it to the Skyhawks.
I'm not sure what happened there. I think McCoy just mishandled it. Loose ball, 50-50 opportunity.
So UT Martin with a chance to cut into this deficit here.
I wouldn't have said so in the first 5 minutes of the game, but UT Martin, I didn't feel like their transition defense was great early on. They have figured it out ever since. The last 24 minutes of play, they've done a great job of slowing down UT Martin. Now they're forcing Coach Ryan Ritter's squad to play half-court offense, but they're not making outside shots. So they're just kind of grinding inside, slobber knocking down inside the paint, but they're not complementing their offense by knocking down three-pointers, and that's where they're really struggling.
Jordan Sears with a tough bucket.
Is it a three-point game now?
It's amazing, isn't it?
And on the contrary now, they're first in the conference in field goal percentage defense. They have locked down Tennessee State less than 30% from the field here in the second.
McCoy getting it inside, and yep, he traveled.
Picked up his pivot foot.
Chris Nix defending on that. And able to force that turnover.
It's the 9th turnover for TSU.
Jordan Sears brings it up for the Skyhawks. One possession game. Sears driving to the basket, cut off by Queth. Good cross-court pass, open three, and that misses everything from KK Curry. 2 of 11 from 3 are the Skyhawks in this game.
Oh my gosh.
Open 3 for Queth, and he's able to nail that one.
Zul Queth could have drank 4 cups of coffee. He was down there for 5 seconds untouched. That's why I was like, oh my gosh, because I can't believe nobody picked him up.
And it's back to a 6-point bulge for Tennessee State. Seems like whenever UT Martin's done something, Tennessee State's been able to answer. Simon unable to hit the 3. So now 2 of 12 from three-point range for UT Martin. Clay gets it inside to McCoy. McCoy working against Nix with the 3 fouls. Misses just about everything on that shot attempt, and Sears gets the board. Sears, clear path to the basket, lays it in. Quickly back the other way comes Tennessee State, trying to speed it up, and Junior Clay gets knocked down by Desmond Williams. Williams called for his second foul.
I like that because they just, the ball goes in the hole. Tennessee State's not putting their head down. They're sprinting down the floor, and Junior Clay got an opportunity, caught the ball beyond half court and drove it with the defense not completely set. Good job here by Jordan Sears. And then boom, let's go right into their offense, Tennessee State.
1-and-1 opportunity here. And unable to hit on the front end, but an offensive rebound and a putback for Adon McCoy. McCoy with a dozen. That'll soften the blow of that front end 1-and-1 miss.
It's his 3rd offensive rebound.
Williams tries a 3, and again, the struggles continue for the Skyhawks from three-point land.
I'm looking over at Coach Ryan Ritter. Things are not going in the way of the Skyhawks when it comes to shooting the ball, right, from behind the arc. But you have to continue staying positive. Shooting is such a delicate thing. Everything is about confidence, and you have to keep your players confident. Shoot your way out of that slump. That's what he's telling his players. Relax, we're good. We're still in here. Hang in there.
Tennessee State taking their time here, 10 to shoot. Clay will give it off to Fitzgerald. 7 seconds. Fitzgerald, the reverse layup, and it won't count. He stepped out of bounds. So Tennessee State turns it over. UT Martin, again, will try and cut into this deficit. Not even tied it here in the second half. The Skyhawks. UT Martin, Tennessee State rather, led by 8 at the intermission. Sears comes around the screen set by Nix. Sears working his way inside. Yes, and the foul. Well, if you're not hitting three-pointers, try to get 3 the old-fashioned way.
21 points last time these two teams played for Sears. Coach Ryan Ritter is so high on him. He's just a sophomore. You see, he's got a plethora of moves, takes the contact and scores. And he is 18 points per game in OVC play. That's top 5, but he's a distributor. He gets rebounds. He gets you a steal every game. If you can have a great point guard, your future's bright. 2 years at Gardner-Webb, future's very bright here at UT Martin.
Native of Daytona Beach, Florida, unable to hit on the free throw and convert the three-point play, but gotten it to within 4 for UT Martin. Clay has the ball stolen, got his pocket picked by Williams. Williams has one defender to beat, and he beats him. First basket for the 6'1" junior from Montgomery, Alabama, and it's a 2-point lead for Tennessee State. Once again, the Tigers content to walk it up. 12 fast break points now for UT Martin. Ball State with the 4-point advantage, and a chance to add to it here is Dedrick Boyd trying to complete a 3-point play, 85% free throw shooting. And he's able to knock it in. 6 points for Boyd, the senior out of Brownsville, Tennessee. With under 8 to play, it's a 5-point lead for the Tigers. Sears gets stripped by Clay, and it's out of bounds, and will stay with Tennessee State, or UT Martin.
Both these teams have made their opponent play half-court offense. UT Martin has struggled from behind the three. They've also struggled from the foul line.
Great pass by Nix, but Myers misses the layup. Draws the foul, however.
And see, they're getting so many opportunities. Look, the three-pointers aren't dropping, so they're not taking as many. They're 2 of 12. So getting a lot of shots around the basket. They got nearly 40 points in the paint, but they only made 11 of their 21 free throw attempts. They're 52%. And this is where they're really shooting themselves in the foot. UT Martin is a team. Traditionally, is a really good free throw shooting team at 72%.
Yeah, that's been a big issue for them for sure.
I like watching the two coaches here. Benny Collins and Ryan Ritter look at each other, making a wisecrack, making a joke about something the official had told Penny Collins.
3-point game now, as Myers able to cash in on both free throws there. Clay, 7 points so far, working his way to the basket, able to get it, and that ball's knocked out of the hands of Brown. Back the other way, Williams with his second bucket off the bench. Desmond Williams able to finish on the fast break chance.
Williams got the steal, and the ball went through the net within 3 seconds. That's how fast he is up and down the floor.
1-point game, loud as this crowd has been here at the Elam Center in Martin, Tennessee. Clay
wants it.
Clay has been scoring. He's been distributing. Clay, he'll try to score here, and unable to hit off the front rim. And the rebound, Williams comes away with it. Williams, full head of steam coming up the court. Kicks it out to Myers. He'll try a 3 and miss it. And the rebound pulled down by Tennessee State. McCoy. UT Martin, they just haven't been able to buy a bucket from 3. 2 of 13 from 3-point range. Clay slowing things down. And it's Queth unable to convert. Offensive rebound pulled down by McCoy. Queth with the layup, unable to finish. And it is an offensive foul called on Queth.
Well, I thought McCoy's offensive rebound, which I believe is his 4th now. Yeah, that kick out was great. But the defense stepping in front. Look at the kick out. Stepping in front. You got to give a lot of credit to Chris Nix for stepping up there and taking the charge. Official thought it was a charge. I think the entire Tennessee State bench thought that was a blocking foul.
You could make an argument.
You could.
Nix was maybe moving a touch there. So UT Martin with the ball, down by a point, can take the lead here for the first time in the second half. Sears around the screen, going to the basket, and the Skyhawks are ahead. Jordan Sears now with 11 of his 13 in the second half.
Wow, he climbed back from 18 down in the first half. I told you this was going to be a great game. Told you.
Let's see if Tennessee State responds. Clay spinning. And a great finish by McCoy. 14 for Adon McCoy.
His 5th offensive rebound. He's a beast down low.
Back to a 1-point lead for Tennessee State. Stewart working his way into the lane, and he gets rejected from behind by McCoy, and the ball is saved from going out of bounds by Brown. Back the other way, open three, Boyd knocks it in and draws the foul.
Playing a little air guitar after he made the 3 on the ground. And that's how you respond to a call that you didn't think was good. There was a charge called. They thought it should have been a blocking foul. Instead of sulking, what do? They get a put-back dunk, a block shot, and a wide-open three-point and 1 shot. That's what you do as a basketball team. Respond in the positive way.
How about the great pass ahead there, too, by Clay to help set that up. So Boyd at the line looking to convert on a three-point play and looking to get into double-figure scoring tonight. And he does both of those things.
Well, I tell you, UT Martin was really worried about Dedrick Boyd getting a lot of great looks. He's only got 3, but he's made him convert.
Williams unable to hit on the 3, but he gets his own rebound.
But just like that, man, they were just up by 1. What happened?
Sears trying to go to the basket, and he gets hammered. They're going to get Griffin for his 3rd. And that's 10 team fouls on Tennessee State, so double bonus the rest of the way for UT Martin. George Sears, the first beneficiary of that. Averages 14.4 a game, a quiet first half, only 1 field goal attempt, which he made. It's been a different story here in the second half, seeking his 14th point now. And Sears will take a walk to half court after missing that first free throw, not happy with himself. The line has not been kind to UT Martin tonight either. They've got plenty of attempts, but have struggled to convert on them. And Sears able to hit the second. And it seems like, Richie, we talked about it with this Tennessee State team, when they're at their best is when they walk the ball up and they slow things down.
Look at that pass.
Great pass by Clay. It doesn't lead to a bucket for Griffin, but it does lead to free throw.
That's one of the advantages you have when you have a player like Junior Clay who can break just about anybody off the bounce and get into the paint. The defense will converge on him, and what that does, he's got vision to see when a defender leaves one of his teammates, he has the ability to deliver the pass in the right place, and that's exactly what he did to get to the free throw line for Zion Griffin.
And also, that's the 4th foul on Chris Nix of the Skyhawks. So that's big. Griffin, 61% free throw shooter on the year, 1 of 2 so far in this game. Still a 4-point lead for Tennessee State. Swift will take a seat as Christian Brown returns for the Tigers. Empty trip for Griffin. 4-point lead with under 5 to play. Stewart looked like that shot was rejected, I believe, by McCoy. And here comes Clay and the Tigers. Griffin thought about the 3. Instead, we'll go to the basket and lay it off the glass.
Oh, that's great. I believe that was Christian Brown with the block shot. And on the other way, in Tennessee State, they're finding small opportunities to make their defense offense, the fast break opportunities. But it's slim.
Simon able to hit and will get a free throw as well. KJ Simon, he's been really aggressive here in the second half, going to the basket more. And now rewarded with a trip to the line where UT Martin is just 56% tonight.
There's a block on one end right here. Great drive. About what TSU is doing tonight. They're not shooting overall from the field as well as UT Martin is. The difference is they've made 11 three-pointers. As far as I know, 3s are better than 2. And they've had 11 offensive boards. That's led to 15 second chance points. Those 2 differences right there have been massive in this game.
Junior Clay. Kick it to the left wing. Open 3, and that's knocked in. Yet another 3 for Tennessee State. Christian Brown with his first.
Well, get this, 36 points from behind the arc for the Tigers, and UT Martin, 44 of their points have been down inside the paint.
UT Martin 14-1 here at the Elon Center this year. This is their final home game of the regular season. Only home loss was in overtime to Tennessee Tech. They'll need to come back to avoid another one. 3 on the shot clock. Sears will knock it in. That's been a rare sight for the Skyhawks, knocking in the 3. That's only the 3rd 3 they've hit in 15 attempts tonight.
They
called it a 2,
yeah.
so not a 3. 16 points.
That 1 point could be magnified here down the stretch.
4-point game. McCoy in the post against the smaller Sears. Faces a double team, but able to kick it out. And an offensive foul is the call on Brown. Sears drawing the charge. Or Simon, beg your pardon, drawing the charge.
UT Martin never goes away, do they?
They don't.
We talked about it earlier. Go ahead. Second place is possible for either one of these squads.
And that's big when you think about the OVC tournament that begins next week in Evansville. The top 2 seeds get a bye all the way to the semis. Oh, what a rejection there by Clay on Sears, but Williams able to get the loose ball. Stewart going to the basket.
Oh, nice move.
Spin cycle and lays it off the glass.
Not just one shot fake. How about a second shot fake? This is his final. Can he do it as well with his weak hand as he can a strong hand? That's the question.
That's what NBA scouts look for, right? 2-point lead for Tennessee State with the ball. Under 2.5 to play in Martin. Inside to McCoy. Sears on him. McCoy, lefty hook, and able to hit.
Man, I love his game. 5 offensive boards, having a field day down inside the paint, making plays happen. He's got 14 points now.
His season high, his career high is 18. Stewart at the top of the key. He'll try a 3 and bury a 3. Parker Stewart with his first 3 of the game.
1 of 5, which is surprising because he's such a phenomenal shooter. Hitting shots at the right time.
16 points for Stewart. 1-point lead for Tennessee State. Lob down low and a lot of contact on McCoy.
So here's the thing. UT Martin, we've seen all game long, they switch on everything. And right there, you had Jordan Sears, who's all of 5'11", like he's been doing most of the game, just switched on to a Dong McCoy, who's 6'9" and a big man. So what happens oftentimes here, Tennessee State is looking for opportunities to get the ball into McCoy because they have a small point guard on him on this pick and roll. So they throw over top of his head, and they're getting opportunities to score that way.
Boy, able to knock in the first free throw. He now has 15. His career high is 18 points, which he did earlier this year against Brescia. And he's 2 points away from that career high. 3-point lead once again for Tennessee State. Just over a minute and a half remaining.
I'm watching Parker Stewart. He's telling his point guard to look out for him.
Sears goes to the basket and slams it with the right hand. The Red Sea parted for Sears along the baseline.
He's 5'11". Did you see the vertical on that dunk?
18 now for Sears. And a 1-point lead once again for Tennessee State. Clay trying to get it inside. Nice feed to Griffin, who lays it in.
This is awesome.
And leads the conference, averaging over 5 assists per game. Skyhawks can tie it with a 3. Stewart.
Double teaming him.
And throws it away to Clay. Less than a minute to play. And Tennessee State will probably look to work some clock here and look for a good shot. Trying to make it a 2-possession game. Clay around the McCoy screen, goes to the basket and lays it in.
You've got to score now if you're UT Martin. You've got to score quick. You've got to get that ball back. UT Martin still has 2 timeouts left, down 5.
Sears going to the basket. 3-second differential between game and shot clock. So Tennessee State can run this down quite a bit. You mentioned the full court pressure. We see it here.
Got a foul.
Clay gets it into the front court.
You got to try to get a steal. Go for the ball. See if you can get a piece of it. Right, you always go for the ball. You don't just go and grab somebody's arm. You don't want it to be a flagrant or intentional. But what you have to do is you go for the ball. Maybe they miss the foul, and maybe you can still get a piece of the ball, deflection, and steal and go the other way. These foul shots are critical for Tennessee State. Make it a two-possession game with under 22 to go.
Fitzgerald 3 of 4 from the line tonight. Make it 4 of 5. What a women's basketball doubleheader we have for you Sunday afternoon on ESPN and the app. Olivia Miles and number 10 Notre Dame take on 20 and 9. Haley Van Lith in Louisville at noon Eastern. Then Caitlin Clark and number 6 Iowa hosts Mackenzie Holmes and number 2 Indiana at Carver Hawkeye Arena. Coverage begins with the College Game Day crew at 11.
Push the basketball. If you're UT Martin, maybe a dribble handoff on the wing could get you a three-point shot.
4-point game, two-possession game. Stewart looking for some room.
Got to move the ball. A great job by Tennessee State. That could seal it.
And it's called a jump ball, and the possession arrow belongs to Tennessee State with 9.3 to play.
I tell you what, man, Tennessee State, UT Martin has come back in this game some. Tennessee State has fought right back. They didn't crumble. They've made opportunistic shots. They've got a steal here right at the end of the game, or a jump ball, so now they get the ball because the arrow is pointing to them. Tennessee State is fighting for an opportunity to potentially be the 2 seed. Certainly could finish in the top 4 at this point in time if they can come out of here victorious.
And you see Parker Stewart there. He was just trying to find some room to get a shot off. Excellent defense by the Tigers to prevent that from happening, leading to the jump ball and turnover.
So now if you're UT Martin here, you switch on everything. Switch on every cut. Anytime there's a screen or a rub, you switch on that, see if you can spook the passer, the inbounder, get a steal, get a layup, see if you can get down by 2 with some seconds left. And then you still have a timeout you can burn. Both teams have a timeout. Tennessee State can burn one here if they need it. Jump ball? They call a jump, they call a foul.
No, they call a foul.
It's 2 free throws. That's going to be 2 free throws.
Boyd is the one, I believe, who is heading to the line here.
So, barring a miracle, Tennessee State coming into Martin and showing, look, we're just a game behind you in the standings, but now we want to tie this thing up.
Trying to hand UT Martin just their second home loss this season. This is their final home game. Came in 14-1 at home this year. And Boyd able to knock in both to make it a 2-possession game. Quickly up the floor. Jeffries, they'll let him go. No, they won't let him go. They'll block the shot. McCoy